Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. We're on to part number 58. Last time out we basically did a lot of social links really, and other than that we didn't really do too much else. We tried to talk Adachi around as well right at the beginning of the part, but he told us in no uncertain terms, you know, where to go basically, and now I'm just biding time and waiting for the for us to go into the dungeon. We are going to go into the dungeon by the end of this part, and one thing I do kind of like about this is that during this period where you're waiting to go into the dungeon, you do get like these little scenes here in the school where it's kind of clear. It's kind of clear, and it just shows like how bad the situation is with everybody else, and kind of how everybody else is, how the fog is affecting other people in the world, like other people around the school and that kind of thing. So it's a kind of a, for me anyway, it's kind of a cool sorry, it's kind of a cool idea to kind of show off that everyone else is affected by it as well, and it's not just you. I think it kind of gives you a better sense of, if you don't do something about it, then the world is gonna go bye-bye, which I kind of like. It gives it a bit more stakes, I guess. But anyway, now we're finishing off Daisuke's social link here. And basically this is just basically showing off that he's kind of back to his old self, that the troubles that were kind of surrounding him are now no longer an issue, and he's all of a sudden now back to the the person he was before he got all these issues with girls and stuff.
This is for you.
And we get something nice. Cheers. I always wanted a spike brush. He used to like cleaning his balls, but I'm such a child. Anyway, so yeah, this is
All right, let's go home.
Yeah, so he's pretty much basically just finishing off the basically it's just finishing off the social link here. Basically him, Daisuke, kind of getting back to his old self and
Yeah, well, I quit pretending.
really putting a good effort into his his soccer practice and all that kind of stuff, which I kind of like. It's kind of cool because it kind of shows, like with a lot of these social links, it shows a bit of a personal growth with the characters, which probably why I like it so much. Probably why I like this game so much, that all the characters kind of feel very real, and kind of they feel very unique yet real, like, you know, you'd expect to see these people in real life. So yeah, I kind of like that. And we're having food. Isn't that
Thanks,
nice?
Man.
Of course. And you feel a deep bond between you, Ku, and Daisuke. And that gets the fellow athlete's arcana up to its max. And there we go, we're finished with the Daisuke social link. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou hast established a genuine bond. The genuine bond shall be your eyes to the truth. We can now create Zogongen, I think is the name of it, which is the ultimate social link of the Strength Arcana. So yeah, Zogongen, that's it. So yeah, we're pretty much done with this social link now. We're not going to really see these guys. Or rather, we're not going to be we're not going to see a lot of these guys between now and the end of the game. We'll see a little tiny bit, but I won't spoil that. I'm really getting through the social links here. We're getting close to being finished here. So I'm trying to remember when the when we go to the dungeon. I know we do it before the end of this part, but I'm not sure on what particular day it is, because I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what day we're supposed to go in. I say supposed to. It's like it's only, you know, you go on a certain day if you want that extra date with if you're in a relationship. So yeah, more issues with everybody else. The fog is still a major problem, and the students are still not happy. Don't worry about it. Of course not. I also really like the music here, actually, because it's kind of dark and depressing and foreboding, which I kind of like. I think that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, we just had to show that off there. And now we're moving on to more lessons. This is really... I always found this teacher one of the weirder ones in class. That he speaks with a puppet. It's kind of weird. Oh well. Compassion makes you loot better. Apparently, compassion benefits yourself. Ooh. Hit the... Oh, shit. I may have hit the pop filter there. Sorry about that. Fuck. It's alright. It's alright. It's fine. It's fine. Monday the 19th of December. Oh, I think this is it now. I think we're... I think it's you have to go in... I think it's the fact... what it is that... the world ends, I think, on the... Well, that's nice and depressing. But the world ends, I think, on the 21st, and you have to basically beat the game by the beat this dungeon by the 20th in order to do it. In order to keep your game going. No, it's before the 25th. That's right. It's before the 25th, but you have to do it before the... I think you have to do it on the 21st if you want to get this extra date going on Christmas Eve. So it's nothing too amazing, actually, now that I think about it, but it's worth showing off. And here's more students being kind of scared and shit. It's now the 21st. I guess I was wrong. Fuck. Never mind. The winter solstice is tomorrow, the longest night of the year. Yeah, so this is just... basically this is... Sorry, fuck. Basically this is what happens with the students. Like your friends, is that they basically, the longer you take to go into the dungeon, the more they'll kind of like come up to you and kind of remind you, like, sort of, hey, we need to get going, don't we? Don't we need to do these, we need to beat this dungeon, don't we? We need to beat Adachi. So I think it's just basically the game, like, keeping you across what's going on, and the fact that if you know that you don't have much time left in order to beat the game, which in order to take on the dungeon, which I think's kind of nice. I like that idea. This is another weird teacher, man. Look at that, dressed up like Cleopatra or something. Weird. Okay. That's kind of a little dig on Yosuke. I really couldn't remember. Oh shit, I got it wrong. It was Cleopatra was the 7th, apparently. It's Cleopatra the 7th. You embarrassed Yosuke, you should apologise to him later. I don't think you actually do that. I think it's just like a little aside, like, yeah, you kind of fucked up there. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, you have to do it by the 23rd, I guess. I'm trying to fucking remember, man. It's been such a while since I recorded this. I think it's, you know, you have to do it by the... yeah, you do have to do it on the 23rd, and then you have your date happen on the 24th. So that's how it basically works. Which is going to be a bit of a pain. And now... yeah, and that's kind of cool. It shows by the end of it that even the teachers are kind of like being a little bit weirded out by all this shit. So it's kind of cool. I kind of like that. And there you go. Here we go. And you see, and that's something else which you see in the like the little hub worlds and stuff. You see people kind of being, crouching down and being afraid the whole fucking time, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. Kind of drives home how important it is to beat this dungeon and how important it is to beat Adachi, which is something that I like. Right, so now we finally get to do some shit. We're going into the dungeon, and this is the dungeon itself is called, let me hang on, this is called Magatsu, hang on, what's the actual name of the dungeon? I've got a phone in my hand. So, the actual name of the dungeon is Magatsu Inaba, and it's actually split up into 2 sections. So, the first section is Magatsu Inaba, and that is basically 2 floors long, and then you move on to go into Magatsu Mandala. So, let's see. Who is this? This is the Vehement Idol. They basically repel ice attacks, they're strong against wind, they repel light, and they're weak against dark attacks. So, yeah. They're also apparently resistant to wind. Yeah, it says that here, they're strong against wind. So yeah, they're pretty useful. As I was saying about the dungeon itself, this first section, which is Magatsu Inaba, is 2 floors, and then the second part, which is Magatsu Mandala, is 6 floors. There's a hell of a lot more dungeons. So yeah, the first mini boss is in the World 3 of Magatsu Mandala, and then you have it's another mini boss, which is at Worlds in level 6. And then you take on the boss, which is Adachi. So who's this asshole? So this is Infinite Sand. They are electric, have no attack, have no way of hurting them, and wind is their weakness. What was the name of that guy? The king. He was defeated anyway. You saw on there what he was weak to. So. Yeah, I think the kings mostly though are weak, getting damaged quite easily by most physical attacks anyway, so it's no big deal. Let's move on. In terms of the look of this dungeon, I kind of like it. It's kind of like a weird mix of. Basically, the way it's made to look, it's basically like a hodgepodge of bits of Inaba kind of all meshed together. It's a pretty bog standard dungeon design, at least for the first 2 floors, where it's basically corridors which lead onto rooms. Not that hard to beat. So that's the Fickle Papillon. They are strong against fire, ice, and wind, and electric. So it's pretty much best to just use physical attacks, really. It's the best thing to use on them. Because they'll cause a decent amount of damage. Shuffle time. What do we get this time? What am I going to get? Do I get the Jess key? No, I'm getting the experience. I need the experience, actually. So we're at level 68 at this moment in time. I'm probably at level 68 or 69. And we got a life stone, and that is I believe that restores your... That is a health restore, I think. But I can't remember how much life it restores. I think it's something like 50 HP? Can't remember. And we got another enemy to take on, and we are going to be taking on the Pistol Mother. Damn it, it's not on here. It isn't, okay, yeah, don't use wind. Nah, let's just use Megadol, we'll see what that does. Good physical attack. Yeah, the Megadollar is really useful. It does severe it does severe it does a severe physical attack damage. It seems they're fairly weak to well, they're not weak, but you can do a decent amount of damage with just normal attacks, so just do normal attacks. Fairly simple and straightforward. I can't believe they didn't show that on the whatever. That annoyed me a little bit there, that I couldn't find it on the little guide. I think I've still got to go back. Let's fight you. So these are the agitating habulary. They're weak to fire. The only other thing is that they drain electrical attacks, so don't use electricity on them, that will just restore their health. So yeah, best thing to do is fire attacks, and that was pretty fucking easy. 2 big fire attacks and we're done. Oh, and I got a big experience bonus. Nice. The eventual level that I need to get at, because we're probably in the last 10 or 15 hours of the game, I want to say. So we're getting close to the end. I think the highest level you have to be is the final boss is at level 90. So as long as you're level, I would say at least level 80, then I think you should be fine. I didn't bother grinding that much, and I got my characters all up to level 80, so it didn't really matter too much. Why did I leave this in? We've seen these enemies before. Wonder why I left this in. Sorry, this is just a bad bit of editing on my part. I didn't really need to show this. Just kick him in the face. Oh, this might be what. Yeah, he summons a new enemy. So that's the Fiery Bambino. I think they're weak to ice, so yeah, just use ice attacks. But then again, that attack there did a fuck ton of damage, so pretty much at this point in the game, I would say if you use the high-end attacks like the Dines, then you should do more than enough damage, as long as the enemy isn't strong against it. Where are we? I can't find any exits. Oh no, what should we do? Fuck. So yeah, this is the kind of thing with this dungeon, is that the second floor doesn't have an exit, or at least it doesn't have a defined exit. And two of the doors are actually blocked off to you. The reason why they're blocked off is because, well, Adachi's in one of them. So the final boss is actually on this floor. But you have to go through the next 6 floors? Yes. You have to go through the next 6 floors if you want to, you know, in order to beat the game. So, in order to unlock the door to get to Adachi, we need to, and to get to the exits to get to Adachi, we have to defeat, we have to go through all 6 floors. Ah, that was dumb.
Reset scan.
So yeah, these are the
This one's
Jupiter
very
Eagle.
begins electricity.
They are weak to electricity, they drain wind, and they don't have any, dark attacks have no effect on them, so electricity all the way for those motherfuckers.
Congrats, Senpai.
I'm now at level 69.
Leveled up.
69. Anyway. Oh, and that's the end of the part, so join me next time for the next part of Persona 4 Golden. Oh, that was well done. Alright, see you next time.